Hey guys, it's Brian Mounts from turfmechanic.com and the Turf Mechanic YouTube channel. Today I wanted to talk to you about soil temperatures. I've talked a little bit about soil temperatures over the past few weeks in a number of videos, but today I want to focus squarely on it. Today is the 26th of October, and here where I live, we had a very cold weekend. I mean, we're not talking a crisp fall, we're talking winter weather. Now, we didn't get snow, but just to give you an idea, this morning, I woke up and came out to let the dogs out at about 7:30-ish or so in the morning, and it was 18 degrees. 18! This weekend, my family and I, we traveled to Bend, Oregon, which is about 2 hours away from us. It was colder up there than it was here. So, of course, I was wondering when I got back, what's the soil temperature like? That's what a nerd I am. So this morning I came out, after I let the dogs out, 18 degrees outside. I took a look at the soil thermometer and it was about 39 degrees. So that is, in my opinion, colder than the grass is going to grow at 39 degrees. But here's the thing, that is the coldest part of the day, right at sunup. Soil temperatures they're a moving target. They are different at different times of the day, which is why when lawn and garden enthusiasts like myself, when we talk about soil temperatures in the garden, there are some plants that if the temperature gets low enough, things will just simply die. But with grass, we're talking about average soil temperatures. It has nothing to do with like the low. Usually as winter comes, the soil temperatures drop and the green foliage on top goes dormant, and all of the energy is stored below ground in the root systems of these grass plants. But the average soil temperature is what matters to top growth. Assuming that the grass is well watered and not stressed out by any other factor, the average soil temperature matters. So here, now it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and the sun has been up. We got clear blue skies. So the sun has been beating down in my thermometer here and warming up the soil underneath for 8 hours. And although outside temperatures are only in the low 50s, my soil temperature has also increased to the low 50s. Right now, I've got it registering at about 53 degrees, which is probably right in line with the actual air temperature. Now, tomorrow, it's supposed to be pushing 60 outside, and our overnight lows are only going to be in the low 30s. And every day for the next week or so, it's going to be slightly warmer during the day and slightly warmer at night. So pushing all the way into November, we're going to be getting mid 60s during the day and low 40s at night, which means these soil temperatures are going to continue to average in the upper 40s, and they might get back into the low 50s, which means grass is going to continue to grow. I just want you to understand the difference between a spot check on your soil temperatures, and I use a compost, like a long-stemmed compost thermometer for my spot checks. I know lots of people really like digital instant read thermometers, but I really just like those. They only measure the tip, which is in the ground, just a couple inches off of the tip that you just plunge into the ground. That's the only part that's measured. So even if the sun beats on this part for hours and hours, it's still taking the temperature down in the soil itself. And if you can average that out throughout the day, you'll get a better idea of what your soil temperature actually is. Even though my soil temperature was 39 early this morning, the average temperature has been in the mid to upper 40s, and it's going to continue to climb over the next week, which means tomorrow I'm going to be busting out the leaf blower, cleaning up the lawn, hitting it with the mower. I'm going to plan on winterizing a little bit later in the month of November.
All right, now skipping ahead to October 11th, 2021, almost a whole year later. Today it's a blustery cold day and I'm fighting a cold myself, which you can hear in my voice. But virtually everything that I said about a year ago still makes sense. I want to add to it though. In my last video, I talked about the Greencast tool, soil temperature check tool that is available freely for everybody. They give you basically daily averages. You can see 5-year averages, you can see 10-year averages, you can see, I think it's 5-day averages. You can kind of see a general consensus of what your soil temperature should be on any given day at any given time, really. And that's fantastic, especially for people who are casually getting into lawn care. For people who really want to get granular with their lawn care regimen, it really is worth getting your own compost thermometer or soil thermometer. Now this year, I'm still going to be using my long stem compost thermometer. It's one of those things that you can just kind of keep outside. Mine was all dinged up, as you can see, bent even. This year I picked up a little 7-inch soil thermometer, something that I'm just going to spot check and move around the yard, keep it inside to kind of preserve its life, take care of it a little bit better. But the reason that I use those instead of only the Greencast tool is because I can check different temperatures at different soil depths. So the tip of that thermometer, if I plunge it just like an inch into the ground, that's basically a surface soil temperature check. I can plunge it 3-4 inches into the ground and figure out the soil temperatures deeper down. I can also take it to various parts of my yard and start doing microclimate testing. Microclimate would be, for instance, the shade of my tree. That area gets sun in the morning, this area gets sun in the afternoon, but there's always some shade there. Same thing with over here on this side of the house. I get an enormous amount of shade over here first thing in the morning and mid-afternoon and later on. That's completely different to this area of the house. This area of the yard gets full sun all the time. Now as we come over to this side of the house, this area gets full shade all morning long until mid-afternoon when the sun finally comes up over the top of it. This area takes much longer to warm up in the day. However, it gets afternoon and evening sun. So checking the soil temperatures here makes a big difference. These are called microclimates, and you can't get that with the Greencast tool online. Checking your soil temperature is fundamental. It's right up there with knowing what grass type you have and how big your lawn space is. The easiest, simplest, cheapest way is to go use the Greencast tool. You're going to get good ballpark numbers for your area. But as you get more into lawn care, knowing the microclimates in your lawn and how the soil temperatures fluctuate from one area of the lawn to the other and how they fluctuate from the morning to the afternoon to the evening makes a big difference. It makes a big difference for when we're putting down pre-emergence, when we're using organic products. It makes a big difference for when we're choosing which fertilizers we're going to use. Lots of decisions are affected by the actual soil temperatures. Take a look in the description below. I've got some relevant links to some other videos that I produced on this channel. I even have a somewhat long and boring review of the compost thermometer that I use in my lawn. This year or this winter, I'm going to be using a lot of the short-stemmed soil thermometers from the same brand. Haven't used it yet, it just came in the mail. The little short soil thermometer, I'm not going to be keeping it outside, but it's basically a rounding error. It costs such a small amount of money, it's really easy to use. Now, for the most part, this video is relevant mostly for fall lawn care and spring lawn care. We don't necessarily need to know our soil temperatures quite so much in the middle of the summer or the middle of the winter. So I'm going to put the fall lawn care guide up here or the spring lawn care guide up here. Make sure to watch it if you haven't watched it already. Thank you very much.